In today's video, we're going to look at the relationship between Joomla's database and Joomla's files, and what to do when they're keeping secrets from each other, and just generally experiment with some things. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 221 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites, which I also work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them. So if you're looking to hire someone long-term, short-term, or just to get you out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Yes, you'll see I have changed the background, but I did not get the matching in size. I have to finesse that in OBS here. But oh, and look at that. The side of my head is really disappearing. Okay, well, it's there. Trust me. It's there we go. I'll bring it back. I just hold my hand there all the time. Yes. So everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Oh yes, and as always, our this video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, MySites.Guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Otherwise, why would you be watching this? Well, maybe you just like to see what I'm going to mess up today, or maybe you're thinking about getting one. Anyways, yeah, MySites.Guru. Head on over to MySites.Guru, get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. And if you decide to subscribe, use the coupon code BASICJoomla. You get your first month free. You get your first month free anyways, I think, when you subscribe. Yeah, MySites.Guru. I have a little video coming out because one of my sites actually was got hacked because of the ACY mailing vulnerability that's been around for a long time, and my sites alerted me to that and also gave me the tools to clean it up. So I have a video coming on that. So there we go. All right, so hello to everyone in chat. I apologize for being so late today. Yeah, there's no excuse for being late. It just seemed to run out of time, and then I decided you guys want to see me shaved and also not with my morning hair, so all stuck up. So it's all happening now. So in chat, hello to Bjorn, Ivor, Valerie, Mary, Stefan, Michael, and Serge. Hey Serge, will you post a link to your article from the Joomla magazine? I just saw that yesterday, and I actually left it open a tab, but it's buried underneath all the windows on my desktop. So I thought it looked like a really, really great article. The Venn diagram on there, and I wanted to share that with everyone because you're part of the Basic Joomla family. So I was very proud to see that and happy to see it. So since you have Wrench, go ahead and paste it, and that would be good. All right, so my reason for the topic today is because I have some other smaller videos, more concise videos that I want to put out on how to do a couple of things in Joomla. One is looking at what the Discover feature is in Joomla, how to get rid of things without installing them when they're in Discover, how to remove extensions when you can't uninstall them. You know, that happens a lot. You migrate from Joomla 3 to 4. You see something that you don't want anymore because it doesn't work in 4, you go to uninstall it and it can't. And so we're going to look at a bunch of that today. So I thought that we would look at that and talk about that and other things related. Also, Stefan has, oh man, am I saying that wrong? Stefan. Yeah, I think it's Stefan. I'm sorry. It's saying Stefan. That's the correct way, isn't it, Stefan? Stefan is having problems with an SP page builder update in Joomla 4. And my question here, almost right, Stefan. Okay, Stefan. I worked all night Monday night. I went to bed yesterday morning at 5 in the morning, so I've not quite yet recovered. Yes, okay, Stefan. And I knew that. I had that all in my brain, but so that we might talk about Stefan's issue that he's having later on. All right, so for now, let's turn our attention to the screen and excuse me, and let's get started. And I will put on my computer glasses here so I can see. Also, the top of my head disappearing? Oh, it disappears a little bit. All right, so, and I have some notes for myself here. Oh, look at what I can do here. I think I can share Notepad as well when I want to. So there's my notes. I have been working on that. So let's first of all talk about the relationship between Joomla's database and Joomla's files. And I was trying to come up with an idea of how to best explain this. And then I hit on, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT, and that will give us sort of an outline, just as an overlook at things. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the difference between files in a CMS and the database? And we're not going to read the whole thing here, but ChatGPT is really great for sparking our ideas to look at things, and then with a critical mind, bring our human brain to it. So ChatGPT said this: in a content management system, CMS, which Joomla is, files in a database serve different purposes and store different types of content. Here are the key differences between files and database in a CMS. Okay, the nature of the content. Files in a CMS typically refer to static or binary files such as images, videos, documents, and templates. These files are used to store media assets, themes, and other non-textual content. Database. The database in a CMS stores structured data and textual content such as articles, pages, user profiles, metadata, and configuration settings. So, non-textual content in a CMS, the files, that's your templates, your PHP files that are pulling information from the database, where to display it, getting stuff from CSS file and CSS files. Those are that's their role. And in a database, structured data and textual content. And so we're going to see that. Now, storage format. Files are stored in the file system. Each file corresponds to a specific asset or resource and can be managed and organized within directories or folders. And a database stores content in a structured tabular format using tables and rows. So just like an Excel spreadsheet, you might be like a database, right? Okay, although obviously Microsoft Access is a database. But your information is stored. Content is stored as records and can be easily queried and manipulated using SQL or other database query languages. All right. Flexibility. Files managing content through files is less flexible when it comes to querying, sorting, and filtering data. It's primarily used for assets that don't require complex data manipulation, and databases provide flexibility in organizing and querying content. You can filter and sort data, perform complex searches, and establish relationships between different types of content. All right. Now, because when you are, so we'll see when you save an article and you apply it to a category in a database will look for all the things that have the category in unique when it's sending information to draw the web page. Whereas if you were just saving static files and saying this is the categories, then it would be very hard to coordinate all of that unless you had a database. All right, performance. Accessing files can be fast and efficient. However, it might be less efficient for managing large amounts of structured data, and databases are optimized for managing structured data and well suited for content retrieval. We'll skip versioning and revision control, but this summary here, files in a CMS primarily handle static media assets and templates, while the database stores structured textual content, provides a more flexible way to manage and manipulate data. All right, so as ChatGPT does, it throws in a summary of everything that it said sort of at the beginning. So let's see how this works in relationships. So I have a Joomla file here and a core Joomla install. Let's install the blog sample data. And so we have something to look at. Serge, thanks for posting that link. Everybody check that out. There's an error in the sample data plugin, response invalid. Oh, that's not very good, is it? And this is a fresh install. Well, how about that? We'll start out with an error. All right, well, I don't know what's going on there. I have this set to PHP 8.1, but it should be fine. All right, well, let's do this then. Let's make some content, and we'll go to an article. Oh, here, that's why, because I was logged out. My login timed out. All right, so home dashboard, install blog sample, yes. Say yes, and there we go. It's in. Oh, okay, so that window is open, but there's no responses because I didn't have a session open. All right, and we go here. Good. Go home, and let's just say yes to the stats here. Now, when we refresh the front page, we see that here is our content. Now, why don't we search on this? Why don't we go to this article here called Your Template? So this is blog, Your Template. Templates control the look and feel of your website. Now, we can go into the database. Let's go look in the control panel, see where the files and databases are for this. Many of you know this, but I just wanted to cover the basics for people that might be watching this as well. And you never know what, I mean, I learn stuff all the time when I'm looking at stuff that I think I know. So, all right, so let's go to, but what is the database? Let's go home dashboard, global configuration, server, and the database name is Joom 108. All right. So as we go into cPanel here, we have a bunch of things we look at. First of all, let's go into File Manager, and here are the files. Now, this particular website is in a subdomain, j4core.basicjoomla.com. So I want to find the folder where the Joomla site is installed. Now, typically, on a lot of people's web hosting, especially if you only have one website, your site's going to be installed in a public HTML folder, or there's going to be a key folder. I've seen it to HTTP docs or something like that. But in this case, I know that it's this folder here, J4Core. So let's go and look into there, and lo and behold, here are all the files and folders that go with this Joomla install. And so as we get looking around for things, we can see that that's where the files are. Now, oh my goodness, how did I end up on this screen here? Hold on for a second. What are we even looking at here? Hold on for a second. I was on the wrong screen here. Yeah, so File Manager. Hold on. This is, oh my goodness, I'm sharing the wrong, why? Oh, this is opening. Oh, okay. Well, I see what's going on. There we go. Because I opened up cPanel in another tab earlier, it was not showing it. All right. So when you open the File Manager, here we go. We're looking for this, the install that the site is in, and it says j4core basicjoomla.com. Here's where all of the files are. All right, great. Now, yes, Bjorn said we can't see your File Manager. There, I'll drag that in there. All right, so now as far as the database goes, if we go back to Control Panel, or the cPanel, go down to Databases. Let's look for a tool called phpMyAdmin. And when I click on that, sure, that opens in this window, great. And here's all the databases that are in this particular control panel. Remember, because I have multiple Joomla installs in different folders here. But we looked it up, and there's the database, Basic Joom 108. And when I click that, here's all the tables that are running this Joomla site right here. All right, so let's first of all look at where different things are stored. So we have this article which is called Your Template. So why don't we copy that text, go back to phpMyAdmin. Now we can search this whole database using this search button up here, and for a term, and I'm going to put in Your Template. And we're going to select from these options. Hello, Imran. We're going to select from these options at least one of the words, all the words. Let's do the exact phrase as a substring. All right. So we want the exact phrase, Your Template. We're just going to search all of the tables here. You can just search in one. Now I know what we're looking for is actually in the content table, but let's just search them all. And then we'll click Go. And right away we see, oh, what? anywhere that the term, whatever term that we were just searching for, oh my goodness, it's left my brain. Your template, everywhere that your template occurs is here, and it shows where you can browse. One match, one match, one match. And so for looking for this, we can kind of just go down and say, well, where is it most likely? And you think, oh, content. All right, so if we click browse, it's going to scroll to the bottom, and we see one row, and look, the title is your template. Alias. We can actually even go and click and edit on this line, and we see the content of the article right here in its HTML. Templates control the look and feel of your website. Now, if we go back to that article in the backend, your template. All right, so let's go to the backend. Let's go content and articles and search. Yes, search for your template. We'll just search for your T. There's the file, and when we go in and we go to view the code in the article, what we see here is exactly the same as what we see here in the intro text. There's your code. And that's because when you save an article, changes to an article, that data is stored in the Joomla database. And so the cool thing that we can do is this. We can go in here and we can change the title by putting a whole bunch of E's in there. We can change a bunch of things in here. Excuse me. We'll go down the bottom and go, here, let's see, we can save and go back to this page. Whoops, save and go back to this page. So we'll go. Now we save that change there. Watch this. When we refresh the front page, our title is changed. So you can actually edit things inside of the database, which is a really cool thing to know, because there are times when maybe Joomla breaks because of something. We'll talk about this. And you can't get at it through the admin area or logging into the front end. And you might, it's like, oh man, well, what am I going to do? Well, then you can go and look for things inside of the database and manipulate them so that maybe you can get your Joomla site to come back online and get back to access in the back end. Okay, so now watch this. There's something, if you have an article open and you change something in the database, notice the title did not change here because it's still open. And if I were to actually to save this at this point, it would overwrite the changes I just manually made here in the template. So what I can do is this, is if I just refresh this edit window, look, now it pulls and fills the fields in all of these E's. And what's happening is that by clicking or refreshing, files are being called, and then as the files are being drawn, it says to the database, "Yoo-hoo, database, what's the title?" And the database says, well, oh, what did you click on this? Oh, yeah, we need that. What is the title for article with the ID number 6? Oh, it's your template, and its alias is your template, and here's the text, and here's the blog, and is it published, and here's the tags, and the database is pulling stuff from all over, and that is how the database works there. So, of course, now these E's, I can just delete those, save and close, and when we go back here and refresh, there it is, back to normal. But of course, I have this window open here, and therefore, if I were to save this, this would overwrite it as well. So, there you go. There is that. Now, so editing in the database, and I showed searching in the database. Now, I talked about that situation where you're locked out of the back end of your Joomla site. Now, we just have to do a little bit of pretending here. So let's pretend that this happens in migrating from Joomla 3 to Joomla 4. There is a module in your admin area that is breaking your breaking your Joomla site because it's not Joomla 4 compatible. And so every time you try to call up the back end of the site, you can't get to it. And now you know from your error reporting that what the error, where the error is, but still, how do you unpublish it inside the back end of the database? Well, here's what you would do. Now, and this is where the pretending part comes in. Let's pretend that, let's go to System, Administrator Modules. Let's pretend that it's this sample data module that is breaking Joomla. And so when we go in the back end, it says sample data, you get the error report, sample data module broken. And you can't do anything. Every page you go to and you think, oh, if only I could unpublish the sample data module. But here it is, you know, like you would here. But if you can't access the screen, you can go into the database and turn that module off. And I will show you how right here. Now, in fact, let's just filter here so we can focus on one. So here we see sample data and it's published. We go into the database. Let's just start over at the top. Now we can search here for sample data. And let's search for the exact phrase. And we'll go. And now it exists in JOS TS assets. Let's scroll down. Oh, look, and JOS modules. And you think, that's probably where the module is. All right. So in this case, we'll click on Browse. We get skipped down to the bottom to that one particular line. And look, it's a module, sample data. Now, this is ID 87. If we look up here in modules, over here in the right hand, that's 87. Of course, you can't see this if your site's broken, but as we're pretending. But you can look across, and what do you see is, oh, published. There is a published field there. Serge says you can, let's see, chat is hiding behind there. Oh, you can also rename that the folder you're talking about in modules in FTP as well. Cool. Yeah, that's another thing that you can do. But here, so we go along this row here, and we see published as 1. So if 1 is on, 0 is usually off. So I'm not even clicking edit here. I just double clicked. I go 0. I hit enter. And now when we go back to modules and filter again or search, look what happens. Sample data, that is off. It's unpublished. And if that were the only module that were breaking your access to the back end, you would then be able to gain access to the back end and get doing more what you're doing and solve this. Maybe in this case, the sample data, that the module is breaking things you want to uninstall, and you would uninstall that. All right, so now that said, what Serge just suggested here is you could go into the file manager and you could find out where that file is. Now, where is that file? Well, it's a module. You could probably guess it's in modules, but sometimes it's hard to find things. But let's see, modules and it's not in there, but oh, it's an administrator module. So let's go to here to the administrator folder. Oh, and then modules. Come on, get in there, double click. And then we go, oh, there's sample data. And what Sarah just saying is that you can, you could just rename this mod, and we could put another S in there. And then that's going to break because in the database, it knows that that module is in that, it knows that there is the file location for that and what it's named. So if you change the files, you trick the database, and that's what we're going to talk about. Because as you saw from the from my thumbnail today, the relationship, you know, that happy guy and girl on a bike, the relationship is great, but sometimes there are secrets between the files and the database. For instance, by renaming a module, we're doing a secret. on the database and we're just changing something, but by renaming it, it doesn't tell the database anything. The database thinks the file is still there, and when it's not, then at least it doesn't get called. In this case, the error would be fixed. So we're going to talk more about those secrets that files and database have with each other. Now also, let's suppose, and let's pretend so that we're in the back end of the site here, and we're getting an error, and we don't even know what's causing the error because error reporting is not on. And so if you want a better error, then you should turn on error reporting, and you turn on error reporting and also debugging. Now, of course, to do that in Joomla, you would just go to your global configuration, go to your server tab, and then you turn error reporting to maximum and your system debug to yes. But if you can't access this, then you're kind of hooped, aren't you? Well, let's just refresh. What you can do here is not a database trick, but is actually a file trick. Go into your file manager, find the root folder of your Joomla install, go down to configuration.php, and then go edit. And then you're going to look down through here, and look, here's all of the information, actually more information sometimes than you can change in your global configuration. But as we go down, and don't worry about this password, I'll change this later on. As we go down, we can go to, we can look for debug. Let's see, debug. Oh, up here, debug equals false. Now, different Joomla files have different setups, different configurations. Some say true false, some would say 0 or 1 and have quotes. Just try to follow what's going on. But watch, if we turn debug to true, all right, and then error reporting, we go down here, see where it says default, let's put maximum and save that. When we refresh the global configuration, we have turned debug on and error reporting to maximum. Now, we did that information in a file. That wasn't in a database, all right? So that's sort of an exception to the rule where most things are in a database, but here the files are set in, the configuration is set inside of a file, and it's very handy for us to go and manipulate and change it. So that's really key. If you're locked out of a Joomla site, you can also go in and if you're locked out of a Joomla site, you can, because of errors, you can go and change the global configuration. And just for one more really common example, if you ever are locked out of your super admin account, you can go and find your account. Imran says the Remember Me plugin also makes things difficult when you try to upgrade or migrate. Yeah, I've not run into that, but that's something to be aware of if it's still in there causing a problem. But yeah, that's another possibility that's causing a problem with migration. Now, we're talking about users. Let's go to the main view here. I know what I'm looking for. I'm going to go right down to the JOST users, all right? Your prefix will be different. I go to browse. Look, there's only one user here. I go to browse and return an empty thing. Let's go. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I clicked on user keys. Misclick. User notes there. Browse. All right, so here's my name, administrator, username J4Core Cybersalt, and the password. Now, I don't know what that password is. Let's say I don't know. What you can do is you can edit this, and you could then do this little trick here. You change your password here, the encoding, to MD5. That's important to remember. And then you can change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what you'll be able to do is if I were to save this, I could go to the site, log in with my username and the password 1234567 and then that would let me in. And then I can change the password to what I want. Now, another little trick here is, watch this. I'm going to go Control Z first. See this string here? This is the password that I like that's really encoded well. So I'm going to copy that. Now go 1234567 and now we're just going to save that change. Go. Now let's go up to Joomla. I'm going to just log out. And now I'm going to log in with this, and I'm going to go watch 1234567 I can now log in with that password that I set very quickly. Great, and that works. Now right away, because 1234567 is a terrible password to have, and some of you might be rushing to try it out right now. I'm going to go to Users, Manage, and Administrator, and right away I'm going to change that password to something else, right? So if I go, I'll do it all D's. Watch. Let's do DD. Oh man, let's go. Let's go. Anyways, change the password to something that's better than 1234567 But remember, I saved. Let's just let's see. Let's just pick a password here. Generate a password. I'm going to go like that and that. So I'm going to save this password. All right. Now watch this. I'm going to close. I'm going to log out. Now I have a password memorized for this in my password tool up here, and it's not what I just changed it to. So watch, when I click this and try to log in, it says nope, that's not the password. But remember, back in the database, I copied what the old hash was for the secure one that I wanted. So if I go into their edit now, here it is, what my new password is. All I have to do is put back that really long one there and save by going go. Now watch. Now I'll try my old password and I will log in and it works. Now that copying thing is very handy, and let me tell you why. If you have a client or someone that you're helping with the website and they send you, you have to have access to their control panel to do this, but they send you access to the hosting and they say, here's my Joomla user login, and the password's not working. Or they create, or this happens, they create an account for you, but they forget to make you a super user, but you have access to the hosting. You can just go in and find their login, copy what their password is. All right, that's not what it is there. Copy what their password is out of. Oh, that's very odd. That this is auto-filling the last thing I pasted in there. Oh no, this is just a long thing. There we go. You can copy what their password is. You don't know what it is, but copy that, save it somewhere. Do your little trick for logging in with MD5. And then go in and change permissions on your account and your password. Then go back, put their hash back in. They will never have to change their password or fix it yourself, and it's a fast way to do things. All right, so little pro tip there. All right, so, but of course, I think we may be getting a little bit off track. All right. So so there's lots of examples of you can change some things in the database when you can't access things in your site. But then also, if you can't access your site, there's the global configuration and files. One thing that I wanted to also say is that if you happen to be in a forum, you're having a problem, and they tell you, go into such and such a folder, go into this file, go to line 53 and change this to this text to that text, or this code to that code. That is where you do it in your file. So you might say, you might say, well, they go, okay, go to administrator, cache, and go into the autoload PSR4 file and edit that, and then go down to line 55 and change the text to say whatever you have your line numbers. That's how you can get help out of apply help out of a forum for that. All right. All right, so now we get into the topics that I would, well, before we do that, one thing. Stefan asked me just before when I was getting ready to the live stream, he's trying to update SP Page Builder, and he's getting an error, a JSON error. So one thing that I would try, Stefan, is, and here's my question. If you uninstall SP Page Builder, and it uninstalls the extension, I think SP Page Builder stores pages in Joomla articles, I believe. Or does it leave the data from pages that you've made in SP Page Builder in place? Because sometimes what can happen is that if you uninstall and then reinstall the latest version, that can fix things. The problem is sometimes when you uninstall an extension, it takes out all of the tables as well. So, for instance, I know if you install ACY mailing onto a website and then uninstall it, all of the data tables for your newsletters and subscribers and everything, it stays there. So when you install ACY mailing again, it's all there. But there are other extensions that if you uninstall them, they take out all the tables and you're like right back to zero. So there you go. Oh, and Stefan says he's actually found the problem. So that is good. So, you know, something to think about if you're uninstalling and reinstalling, trying to fix things on a Joomla site, is if you uninstall, does it leave the tables in place? It might take the files out, but does it leave the tables in place? And do you want that or not? All right, so now let's get to the first thing that I want to do a little video on and explain. And that is, if we go to System and Discover, what the heck is Discover in Joomla? Basically, what Discover in Joomla is Joomla saying the files for these extensions exist in the file space, but we have no knowledge of them in the database. All right, so the file space has a secret. It's like, I've got some files for a Joomla extension that you don't know about, and the database is like, well, I don't know about it. Now how would that happen? Maybe you uninstalled something in a previous version of Joomla, and it wasn't able to fully uninstall the files, but it still removed everything from the database, and then it's hanging on. All right, so that's a possibility. And now let's just, or perhaps. I mean, that's one thing that happened. Now, let's make the files have a secret from the database. So let's do this. Let's go to System, and why don't we go to Site Modules? No, Administrator Modules. We've got sample data here. All right. I'm just going to publish that. All right. Now watch this. Sample data. Let's go into the database. And we're going to search for, go to search, and we're going to look for sample data, like we did before. Exact phrase as a whole field, no, just as a substring. We go. Now we're going to go down to modules, all right? And let's see, there's browse. Oh, let's go browse. All right, browse. Now here's our line for sample data. I'm going to delete it. Now also watch, this is ID 87, all right? We're going to delete it. Okay, I just removed that from the database. Now let's go back to System and go to Discover and Discover. Okay, so it didn't do it for that module. All right. Alrighty, that's one thing. Let's do something a little bit more drastic then. Let's go to a component, and let's go to contacts. All right. I thought sometimes it will be a module that does that, I thought. But all right, so we're going to go to search. We're going to go to contacts. Well, let's find this a different way. Let's go to the database. And let's go to extensions, JOST extensions. All right, there's 231 lines in here. I'm going to click here to show them all because filtering will not necessarily find what we're looking for. But in this case, it would. Watch, it depends on your setup in PHP MyAdmin. See here how it's just showing one page at a time, 25 at a time. If I filter for something that's on the second page down here, let's see, let's filter for guided tours, all right? But let's do it from the first page. If I go guided, G-U-I-D-E-D, it doesn't show up anywhere. But if I go to the second page and search for guided, it does find a line. So if I click here and show all, yes, now I'm seeing all 230 lines and search for guided. Oh, now I get to see 3 that are happening there. Now what we're looking for though is contact, C-O-N-T-A-C-T. And look, oh, here's the com contact and plugin content contact. But I'm going to, this extension ID 7, I'm going to delete that. Com contact. And go like that. Now, hopefully this discovers it. If not, and again, I'm practicing for video here, right? So I'm trying to learn too. Let's go back and let's click Discover Extensions to install. Aha, see? Now look. It says, hey, look at this. I found a component that the database doesn't know anything about. And at this point, the question is, well, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to install it, or do you want to, well, install it is all you can do. Well, I'm going to say install it. And there we go. That's installed back in. But watch, when we go to the database, and let's filter, let's go JOS extensions again. Let's go to contact. Remember the contact. Com contact was ID 7, but now look, it has ID 232. Because in Joomla, when things are installed, they get the next ID that's available. And because com contact is being installed, treat it like a new extension, even though the files are already there. Joomla said, the database says, oh, what's this? Discover you found something that I didn't know about. Thank you so much for telling me. I will install it and I'll give it the latest extension ID. And it doesn't hurt that com contact has 7. That com contact has a different ID because why? Because the database is keeping track of the relationship of all the files and where they are. Now that is really cool. Now here's the question, and this will happen. Let's just delete this again. All right, so we'll go back to Discover. Here's the scenario. You have migrated from Joomla 3 to Joomla 4, and before you did your migration, you didn't run Discover. So stuff that could have been discovered in Joomla 3 wasn't. And now let's pretend that this is an extension that is not Joomla 4 compatible. It's possible that if you say, oh, what's this? Oh, you know what? I'm going to install this, and I'm going to install this, and then I'll uninstall it using the normal method. You could discover this, install it, and when it's installed, it could break your Joomla site. It could be something that's not Joomla 4 compatible, and then you're locked out of the back end. Well, we've already seen that you can go in and turn off where it was installed and find it in the database, and then you would gain access again, and then you could maybe try to uninstall. However, you can also run into a problem where you can't uninstall things that were from a previous version of Joomla. But my question is this, first of all, if I see this and I go, oh my goodness, and we're pretending here, my database, this extension that is discovered, these are files from something from previous versions. I don't want to install them and wreck things. I just want to remove them. Well, then what do you do? Well, here's what you do. And this is something I've been kind of playing around with my mind, why a video I want to do, is that you have to go into the file space, find all the files for this component, and then you need to manually remove them. You don't have to take it out of the database because in this case we know the database knows nothing about it. But how do you find all of the files? Now, you know, cPanel, one of the bad things about cPanel is that their file search tool is awful in the sense that all your files, so I'm going to search for all files up here in the current directory that have the word contact in them. And when I click go, it will do that search. And then it gives me this window here. And then I can slide here, but there's a window within a window and it's just terrible. And how do you find it? Which is what? Blah, 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 blah. It's just so many things. And the word contact came up in so many things. So it's like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Look, we even have a stage it backup in here. All right. So here's what I would do it for searching for files if I want to manually remove. Now remember, I think it was from Joomla Helper we found that really crazy file manager that works inside of Joomla. Let me go and install that. I'm going to go to System, Install Extensions. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to Joomla 4 and I have a little folder called Toolbox. And here's the file manager. All right. JMP file manager. So it's installed. I'm going to go to components and here's JMP file manager. Now they have a wonderful, beautiful file searching tool in here. Remember when we looked at this, it starts out showing only images, but if we go to options, and I remember Bjorn suggesting this, if we just put in a /, it will then start to show us the root of the Joomla install, right? There we go, all of our files. Now watch this. I'm going to go up here to contact. I'm filter. I'm going to search for CONTACT, contact. Not just in the one folder, but I want to search the whole volume of files. And now we see, oh, look at this. Look at all the COM contacts that we have here. In fact, that's just, we still need to stretch this a bit. But COM contact, that's exactly what we're looking for to remove. Now, when I look at this and mouse, oh, there's a ton here. I mouse, I look over and it's like COM contact, and when I mouse over, that says administrator / components COM contact. I'm like, okay, great. Well, I would want to remove that. And then here is, oh, look at that, media forward COM contact. Oh, COM contact is also in the media folder. And then, oh, there it is, API components COM contact. Oh, okay, so it's in the API folder. And what you can do is you can go down here and ask yourself, hey, is this something I want to remove? Now, notice here it is in stage it backups. And so there's a lot to check out here, stage it backups. So, you know, COM contact is existing in a bunch of files that were backed up. So we can look down here. It's lots of stage it backed up. Oh, and now look, here's a folder here, contact. It's in components, COM contact, tempo contact. Now, we're looking for COM contact right now, really, and this is in a subfolder of that, so that would be removed. So anyways, my point is that we can look down here and see, oh, look, here's contact creator. Oh, plugins using user contact creator. Oh, I don't think that that's something I want to get rid of because it doesn't say COM contact. I could be wrong. You know, so you're really going to have to look into what it is, where the files are that you need to remove for this. For here, I'm just going to go back to the core here. It's stage it backups down here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete this because it's kind of a little bit confusing right now. So we're going to put that folder into the trash. And it's deleting a bunch of stuff there. Good. Too many items so it can't trash. Are you sure you want to permanently remove items? Yes, remove them. All right, off it goes. That's a big deleting thing there. Interesting, you know, I removed this Joomla install because I had broken it using Softaculous, but Softaculous didn't empty out all of the folders out of the root. So that's very interesting. So let's just watch while this removes. And then we can get back to our searching here. So quite a few files being deleted here, which is great. Free up space on the server. A little bit more time here. Okay. Now let's go, we're back in the core there. Let's search for contact. And we will search in the volume. We'll hit enter. All right, so now we have fewer com contacts to do here. Com contact. Yeah, administrator. In the media. In the API. In the components. Oh, I've got a stage it copy as well. So I'm going just to delete these three here. I select these three that I've already looked at. I know the location. It is com contact. I'm going to do this, right click, and I'm going to go into the trash. All right, and I remove those. Very, very nice. And then watch. Let's go back to System, open in a new tab. When you say expand JMP, oh yeah, I can't do that because it goes full screen and my full screen does not fit on here. Did this just go like super wide for you guys? I have the screen restricted here for what I'm streaming, but thanks for that tip. I could go full screen. Not that way. Yeah. Did it go like super wide for you? But look, here we are, System Dashboard. Let's go back to Discover. And let's hit Discover. And now, Contacts is not there. Oh, I see. Use user. Oh, that's CSS. Oh, the CSS that you put there. I thought that, Bjorn, I thought that was for something you guys were chatting about for SP Page Builder. All right. Just wanted to show you. You see, if you don't want to install something that Joomla has discovered, files that it sees, then you go in and manually remove those files as best that you can find it. Now, the question is this. If we go to contact here, remember, we've got stage it here. So let's see. Stage it. I'm just going to put that into the trash too. I don't need that. So this will simplify our search for contact. Let's just let that go. Yeah, we're going to remove that. And it's going to do the big delete there. Of course, it's only going to do it once because it's not that big as like the other ones. Okay, now Serge makes a good point. Perhaps it's always in the menu. Aha, good point. Let's just look at that in a second. Volume. Let's search for contact. Where is that? Oh, now it's in the trash. Oh my goodness. Let's go down to trash. Let's empty the folder. Yeah, let's do that. All right, back up to the core. This is such, you know, the one thing, and I need to ask them why, if this is possible, is I cannot edit htaccess files. Haven't been able to see how to make it see hidden files. All right, so we're going to go to contact again and search. We have com contact, which still exists in J4 basic Joomla components. Oh, I missed a spot with it. All right. And now look, com contact ini. Oh, there's a language file as well. Okay. Good to know. Well, let's get rid of this. Sorry, let's get rid of this whoops, a daisy. Control yourself here. components, contact. All right, we're going to delete that into the trash. Okay, we'll go back up to here. We search, we go contact, we go contact, and we search. Why is that folder still there? Oh, now it's in the trash. All right, we'll ignore it. But look, here's contact. That's in the trash. Oh, basically, oh, plugins, content, contact. Now, here, you'd have to look into seeing whether that is a file that goes to contact or not. But we do see we've got some ini files down here that say contact. And in English language, administrator language, and we got some plugins. Oh, that's in the language as well. Plugin content contact. Don't know if, you know, so again, we got to track down. Which brings me to the next thing. Contact.ini is a core language file. Okay. And for the contact thing, right? So again, and I'm messing around with something that's core. So let's just imagine we're trying to remove this, and we'll try this. Remove a third-party extension that was left over. How do we find it everywhere that it was if it's in Discover? And we're going to try that in a second, because I believe there's something in a package that we can see the files that are installed. And I'll show you. So, but we have 3 contacts here. We could select that, and that, and into the trash it goes. And of course, that's fine. All right, so let's empty the folder here. Basically, we've removed much of those files. Now, Serge makes a good point. Over in components, there's no menu showing either, which is interesting because it's possible the menu item could have been left there. Now, we could always go back in here and go to basic, do JOM 108 to that database and go contact. Oh, search, sorry, contact. And select all, yeah. And exact phrase as a, oh, this is all one word anyways. And we'll go. It still exists in an action log because I was doing something with it. The JOS action log config, yeah. JOS access, okay, there's a couple of assets being referred to there. Content types is still in there quite a bit. Guided tours, because there's probably a guided tour that shows contact. But here's the menu item. So let's look. It's going to scroll down to the bottom here. Oh, here's some other things that we could remove. There's some main menu items. Now, why it's not showing up, I don't know. But here's other. If you have menu items where it's showing up, or as types, you could still remove that. Now, again, I guess I've picked a pretty complex one. Let's install an extension here that maybe will have a better, another way for us to remove something. So let's go to install extensions and browse, and let's just put in, actually, why don't we see where File Manager is? All right. Now I'm going to do something here that, okay, that's File Manager. Let's go into, I can't do, let's not do File Manager because I would be using File Manager. That would be dumb. That's like sawing the branch that you're sitting on in a tree. Okay, let's install, let's see, Joomla 4, what will we install? Let's install Template Creator CK. Why don't we do that? All right. Now, I think that inside of a Joomla package, there's an XML file that will allow us to, that shows where all the files are installed when you install something. So first of all, let's go to, and I'm just going to do this, go to the database. All right. Now I wanted to look in the extensions database. We just installed something new. So if I filter the extension ID so that the highest number is at the top, we're going to see, there you go, com template CK. So I'm going to delete that. We're going to go back to system, discover, and look, it's discovered template creator CK, because it's like, hey, here's the files, but it's not in the database. Now I'm going to open up the template creator CK package and look for an XML file. Now I can't do this on a screen share, I don't think. So why don't we just do this? Components, JMP file manager. I'm going to go into components. There's template CK. And it says it's empty. Interesting. How is that empty? Not, all right, maybe we go to administrator, components, oh, there's template CK. Okay, it's not empty. Interesting. Interesting that this is all an administrator thing. Okay, now I want to look for an XML file for when it was installed. Now I'm going to guess, so we have access XML, config XML, and template CK XML, and it is 3 kilobytes. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go and open it. I'm going to open it. Yes. Now this is opening something on my screen that you can't see, but I'm going to go here. I'm going to save that, and it will, let's see here. All right, so Control A and copy. Bjorn says it's administrator component. I think Bjorn's just a couple of seconds behind us here. Now, here's what I'm going to do. In Notepad, all right, let me just open up Notepad here. And I'm going to make a new window. Now watch this. I'm really glad I got this set up now. Here's Notepad. And now I've opened up that XML file. It's not working with my screen sharing, but I'm going to paste it in here. And I think, even though that looks pretty small, let me see if I can make that bigger. Okay, I can, yeah, okay. When we go down through this XML file, which is called template CK XML, which we got from the file thing back here, this file here. When we scroll down, it says, it's got the version type, description, install the SQL. All right, so this calls the install file for SQL. These are the instructions for Joomla and how to install this extension. Then as we scroll down here, look, it says, oh, menu, submenu, here's, here's an install template CK script file, whatever, blah, 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 menu. But look at here, now look, files folder equals administrator. And then here's a list of all the files, of all the folders that are created in administrator. And then here is the the languages folder. Language here. Okay, English and French, but that goes in languages folder equals administrator. And then that's it. There's 2 folders that this extension was installed. And that's our roadmap. So my point here is this, that if there's something that is discovered, and you want to make sure that you get it all, before you start deleting files, hey, where'd I go? There you go. Before you start deleting files, look for an XML file that is with that extension that has been discovered, and see if it gives you a roadmap to the folders it creates when installing, because that is going to be what you want to reverse engineer and go backwards. So as I look at sitemap, Notepad++ here, the first one here was folder equals administrator and language folder administrator. I think that this is what we're looking for. So we would go and say, okay, in administrator, let's go and look. And where does it say that it puts this in components? If I'm working on my theory correctly here. It doesn't, does it? Ah. I thought I was onto something there. I mean, all these, if I go to components and go to template CK, all of these folders here, additionals, assets, backup, controllers, elements, are here. It just doesn't tell you that it went into the administrator. So maybe by default we kind of just know. Oh, it's in the top of the file. Let's see. Where in the top of the file is it? Files folder administrator. This is the menu. Oh, it says administration. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Bjorn. So maybe this is how we decipher it. We look at, it's all up top. Okay. We look, okay. So here's install template CK script file. Administration. Yeah. All right. Then install com template CK. Create these menu links in places. Under the administrator block into XML. Okay. All right, great. And see, and this is why I wanted to do this today with you all, because I knew that you would help me decipher what's going on here, catch me on things I'm missing. All right, and talk about together. So, com template creator CK, yeah. File folders administrator. I'm confused why it's that. Yes, but anyways, here, oh, and then these are files. Okay, so these are, oh, these are actual. Oh, okay, yeah, here, it creates these files, and it creates these folders. Right, yes, Serge, thanks. In administrator component template creator. So when we go back here, these are the files, and these are the folders. So we can go and see, okay, well, we've got some here. Then when we go down, we see, oh, look, here's the languages folder. Now, the administrator thing throws off, but we can go to languages over here. Let me just share that screen with you. Here, it also shows languages folder, right? So we can go over to here, down this side here to the languages, and then we've got ENGB, and then there is com content. No, com contact. No, hold on for a second here. Are there languages files in the administrator? There are. Administrator, language. language ENGB. I'm in there. Where? Yeah. What am I missing here? Yeah, Serge. Yeah, you're right, Serge. Language folder administrator. But this path here, language ENGB. There's somewhere where there's language fr.fr as well. Again, let me just show you what I'm looking at here. Languages folder equals administrator. Language, these two here. So why don't, let's look for com template ck ini over here. All right. So let's look for com underscore template ck.ini. Oh, there it is. I mouse over it. And it's in this folder, it says, huh. Oh, I'm just not doing alphabetical very well, am I? Oh, look at the E, A, B, C, D, E. Oh, here it is here. All right, I'm just not following very well. Oh, and Stefan says the French files are not installed if this language is not present on the system. Interesting, okay. All right, so you know what? I was just not doing alphabetical. I was not reading this very well. Had I read this properly, look, language ENGB, engb.com. So there's a folder as well. But there's also, oh, and that's the folder I'm in, language ENGB, and then here's the file. So if I wanted to remove those two, it would be there. And as you pointed out, the French is not in there because French is not installed on this. Okay. All right, everyone. Yeah, so if you discover something, look for the XML file that shows where all the files are. Then you can run down and hunt and peck them and take them out. Or, and you should probably try that first. And then what you can do is at the beginning, hunt first. And then if you can't find any, search for the extension name throughout your file space and delete the files there. Because watch, if we do that, so let's delete these two here. All right. And then we also know, oh, sorry, you can't see that. So I just deleted those two language files. Now we're also going to go to the administrator and delete that. So we'll go up to administrator components, and we're going to go to template CK right here. We're going to delete into the trash. We're going to remove it. And now I'm also going to search up here just for fun, com underscore template. What is it called? Template CK. Oh, and that's in components. So I'm going to search in the root there. Such a great search tool. Oh my goodness. Com underscore template CK, and we're searching in the volume. Now this one here is probably going to be, oh, remember the, oh, API. Oh, hey, API. Now, did we miss that in the, did we miss that in our notepad thing here? API, let's go F3. Let's go search, find. Let's go API, find next. No. Oh, so that's interesting. So Joomla created a folder for that extension in the API folder, and it's not in there. Now, maybe it's in another XML file, but I doubt it. This com template CK, remember, it was also in components, right? So just an empty one, so we could remove that. And then these are ones that we put in the trash. So the last two that we could remove would be these. All right, and then I'm just going to go down here and empty this trash. because we put a bunch of stuff in there. Empty the trash. Empty the folder. Yep. And now, when we go back to discover, there's nothing to discover because we've actually removed template creator CK. Probably we moved the extension out of the database, and we've also removed the files. So that is how to manually remove things. Now, let's just do one last search here for in the database. Go template CK. That's search in the database for template CK. Now, there's one in the action logs. There's one in assets, so we can maybe remove that. Oh, there's some menu items that were created. There's a session, okay. Update sites. So there are some things that we have to remove. The update site would probably happen automatically. Oh, the notepad's in the screen. Thank you very much. So what I did was I searched for template CK and to see anywhere else that was in the database. Stefan says that in the install, if the install is of the type component, it will create not only the administrator files and folders, but also a folder in components and API. Okay, good to know. Good to confirm that. So, you know, we could just remove references here. And look, I've never tried this delete button. I usually go down and look. But so in the action log, it's saying, hey, Tim installed or checked out or something with template CK. Assets, that is saying down here, it says, hey, look, this has something to do. Template CK is in here. So there are some things left over in the still from what I just removed. So here is a reference. There's 5 menu items. Watch this. All right. CK about, help, submenu fonts. Okay, so these are menus that were added to the main menu. Even though it doesn't show up, I don't think. No, but they are still hanging around in there. All right, so that's good to see. Okay, so session, update site. So you know what we could actually do just to really remove this? I'll leave the action log in. Let's remove the asset. Yes. Yeah, I'm saying yes. Oh, okay. I'm going to delete these menu items. Yes. It's taking a while. All right. Yeah, okay. It did that. The update. Whoops. All right, do some jumping around here. Delete the update site. All right, had to click it a few times. Maybe I had to wait. And this is going to jump up and down now. Hey, yeah, there we go. So I only have a session. And I don't want to mess that. Well, hey, why? This is where we mess things up. Let's delete the session. Maybe I get logged out of Joomla. What's the worst thing that could happen? Boy, I have to hit this like 5 times. Then it does it, and then there's a bunch of loading up and down. And the last thing is the action log. Let's leave it in there. The action log is actually going to say, message plugin action. Oh, extension installed, the message, and the log date, and the installer, the user ID. And that is cool. Now we go back here. Did the session thing kick us out? Hey, it did. The session did kick us out. Interesting. No worries. We'll just go back in. And there we go. All right. So try to uninstall it. Okay. Well, all right. If it's discovered, when you discover it, look at. You might have to look in the database for places that it still hangs out. But in a true case of discovering, it's probably something that's come from a previous Joomla install, or something that's in there and it's gone from the database, but the files are there, so you could look at that. What I just did for manually removing it right now would work well if you've migrated from 3 to 4 and you have an extension that is in your site, in your Joomla 4 site, but it won't uninstall. That's where you're going to go and look and try to remove it from database and from your web space, from your files. Okay, well, that definitely has helped get my head around things here. Now, and of course, and actually that was the next thing I want to do, was how to remove references to extensions in the database. And we just saw that there by searching for it. You find it in a lot of places. So that is cool how those things work. So that's the relationship between the files and that is the relationship between the files and the database. They get along together really well, but sometimes they have secrets from each other, or communication has broken down, and then we can get in there. Oh, and of course, I probably should have said this from the right beginning. When you're doing stuff in the database, make sure, in these files, make sure you have a backup for your site, just in case you do something really, really goofy. I've never done anything goofy and broken a site. So, yeah, well, helpful look for me, and thank you very much, everyone, for your help. What is our time here? Oh, 12:35. Why don't we check out a few of the newest extensions? If you guys have any questions or comments or things you want to talk about, throw them in chat. Stefan, I'm glad that you found out the solution was that JCE editor is not playing nicely with SP Page Builder. Hey, everybody, I was helping someone who migrated a site from Joomla 3 to Joomla 4, and they rebuilt their site, and they did it in Asteroid Framework. And I'm happy to say it was kind of a blast from the past. I was in Asteroid Framework helping him change some CSS, and it brought back happy memories of a couple of years ago when that was my go-to template framework system. So I'm kind of happy that it's living on in that community, asteroid.framework. I'm still, my go-to now is still Template Creator CK. That's what I'm using. But I was happy to see that it was going on, and it was kind of fun to be back in that. I get the same feeling too when I'm in a Gantry 5. Well, Gantry 4, if I in an old Gantry 4 template on someone's site, it's a blast from the past, but it's also a little scary because it's older. But Gantry 5 was kind of nice to be hanging out in there too. All right, let's close a few tabs here that we don't need. We'll leave the cPanel open just in case. ChatGPT, that was cool. All right, so let's go to System and Extensions and Manage. No, Install. Okay. Iris said Asteroid is not 100% with PHP 8x. That's something else too. I did not do a Maintenance Monday video for over a month. I don't know if you noticed that, but I've just been so busy. And by the time I get through what I need to do on a Monday after taking Sunday off, which I've been trying to do, have a day of rest and not working, and just a way of recognizing that I am made for more than just work, and that I can take a rest and recreate. And for me, as a follower of Jesus, I just take a day and rest and realize that that He is in control and taking care of me, and that it's not all about me. Anyways, so by the time I'm done on Monday, by the time Monday comes around, there's a ton of stuff to do, and I did not do Maintenance Mondays early as I could. I kept reaching nighttime and was like just too tired. But one of the videos that I want to do, this is a long wrap there, is you know, Regular Labs, Peter Van Westen has made it so that all of his extensions that are Joomla 4 compatible or will be and Joomla 5 compatible will only run on PHP 8.1. And so that means that if you're migrating from 3 to 4, you can't update if you have an extension on your site like Asteroid, if it's not PHP 8.x ready yet, then if you have that, if you have something you're using, an extension or template that's not 8.1 compatible, you're gonna have to run at 8.0, which means you won't be able to use the latest versions of Regular Labs. So I've got a video coming up on that. And the Maintenance Money this week was talking about that. I have a video coming up showing how you can still access the Regular Labs downloads, the Regular Labs extensions before Peter made that change. So you can still use them on a Joomla 4 site when migrating from 3 to 4. Let me catch up on chat here. And you guys are like really helpful today, as always. Serge has a file to manage database from FTP. Oh, interesting. It's called addminer.php. So Serge, it runs on page 7, but so not able to be installed. So you can run PHP 8, then install and return to 7. So Serge, you not a very secure trick. So addminer. So this file, you install it, and then you switch back to 7, and you can actually work right in the database. Remember to for working in the database, not like we were doing, but Regular Labs DB replacer is a kind of a cool tool too, but it's not like PHP MyAdmin. Regular Labs. Did I miss that you have did I miss you talking about Regular Labs there? I might have missed that, Serge. Anyway, so I'm going to do... Mary said, yeah, we all need to take time and reflect. Yeah, we've got to. We also have to stop staying up to 5 in the morning. I'm going to take time and sleep. Llewellyn, hello. Is this a regular stream? Hi, Llewellyn. Good to see you, man. So my Watch Me Work live streams are on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock in the morning, West Coast of Canada time. And sometimes I have smart people on and interview them and get to know them, or they show an extension. Other times it's just looking at how to do something, or like today, just exploring and learning how some things I want to check out. And so this is a regular stream, yes, every Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. I met Llewellyn in Spain just before the pandemic, so it's good to see you here. Yep, every Wednesday at 11. Now, to tell you what time that is, right now it's 12:42. So I started an hour and 42 minutes ago. So whatever an hour and 42 minutes ago was in your time, Llewellyn, that is what time my stream starts. I'm really hoping that my province switches to stop changing the clocks, and then it will always be a definite UTC time. So, all right. So, yeah, a bunch of templates coming up, a bunch of videos coming up. Let's go to install from the web here, and let's go current. Let's see what is newest by first. What's new in the world of Joomla extensions? Let's see here. All right, JT content filter. Let's go. Can I open in a new tab? There we go. Just released. And when was it released? This is new as of September 2nd. All right. Last update. Oh, date added August 30th. JT Content is a free module to display Joomla content filtered by category names or content tags or both. It's mobile, compatible, and has responsive design, simple and easy to use. So it looks like it's a bit like a Raxo thing. And this is from joomlatema.net. So let's just take a look at the demo. And joomlatema.net. Okay, so here's their slider demo here. Okay. And they've got another, 2 rows here. Cool. And, filter by category, dummy category. Oh, some nice action there. And filter by tags, my tag, other tag, sample. Looks like they all have the same tags there. Oh, and then we've got some nice action. Nice. All right, and so that is a module. Okay, and it's free. But look, they've got a lot. 43 extensions. How have we not... Have we never visited this before? Let's take a look. Let's go to the demo again for that. That's how we'll get their domain. And up here we'll take out the beginning there. Let's just go joomlatema.net. And so they've got a whole collection. They've got premium and free Joomla templates. Okay, so they got template club. And they've got extensions, free extensions. Let's see. JT Infinite Content, free module to display more Joomla articles endlessly by using a load more button. Oh, that's pretty cool. Content filter, which we just saw. They have an image gallery. Well, good for them. They've got a complete system for doing quite a few things. This module allows you to list your items as a drop-down jump menu. So this is Joomla 3. So it's got Joomla 4 here. So these top ones are Joomla 4. Okay. And then some Joomla 4 only. Okay. Language switcher. Oh, look at that. Free module displays a language switcher on your website. Oh, it's got a cool look to it. Let's just take a look. Language switcher, where is it? Did I click the wrong thing? Free extensions. Where would the language switcher be? Somewhere around here, right? Anyways, I'm going to click back just to see. Language switcher. Demo. Oh, demo is all to the same page, I think. Demo. Let's try one more time because I'd like to see that. For its styling. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, look at that. Nice. Well, that's sort of a nice format to it, isn't it? Instead of just a drop down. Oh, and then here we are. Oh, and over here. Oh, that's very nice. That's very attractive. Oh, good. Look at that. Congratulations to them for having so much stuff. Let's see what some of their pro extensions are. Commercial extensions. Side panel. Publish your HTML content or Joomla modules. Yeah, I agree, Stefan. That is a very nice switch. Extension display articles from selected Joomla users as columnists. Oh, that's nice. So, Imran, have a great day. And vertical scroller, headline, responsive gallery, columnists, display article select. Okay, nice. Icon sticky panel enables you to publish little icons on the left or right. Oh, they've got some nice stuff there. accordion content. Excellent. All right. Well, that was a fun find. You're very welcome, Bjorn. Thank you. Introducing the pricing table Joomla module, your all-in-one tool for effortlessly showing pricing plans. Okay. Open a new tab. You want something for showing a pricing plan. And they have, oh, no, they have 59 other extensions. All right. So let's do the demo. Let's open a demo in a new tab here. Pricing tables. So here's their demo. And you must have this set up for adding some things. So that nice formatting there. Cool. I forgot. Look, is that free or for pay? It's a paid download. Yeah. How much is it? So many prices on here. Hard to see. But they have a lot of stuff here. Let's go to their home page. So they have some, looks like templates and extensions. They have extensions. They have mega menu. Oh, mega menus for different extensions. Nice. You know, that's a way that some companies are making making income. I was talking to someone the other day who is making plugins or add-ons for uTheme. So that's pretty cool too. And that market exists in Elementor for WordPress. So it exists on WordPress and other things where people are building things that would be nice to work and to be able to use on something else, which basically is what you're doing when you're making extensions for Joomla, when you're making, or templates. So great. Let's see a Joomla mega menu that they have here. $16.99. There's their price. Live demo. Let's see their live demo here. Okay, and there we go. Look at that. Nice work. I'm happy to see these big, see big companies that are offering an entire system that allow people, if they reach them and sell, and they're using their templates and everything. You know, what's really nice and why I like Template Creator CK and Page Builder CK is the way the way that Cedric does it. It's a complete system. There's lots of extensions. There's lots of things to do. You get the feel for it. You get that muscle memory, and then you start knowing how to use it as a tool, right? And it's just like a set of wrenches. They're all the same. You get to know the feel for them, and you get using them, and get familiar with them. Okay, so Table Maker. Let's check that out. Open in a new tab. Table Maker by Galiba. No demo, but see, you need a fast and simple way to show content of one or more CSV files on your Joomla-powered website. Table Maker is your solution. Upload your CSV files. Have each module process one file to generate it as a table on your site. Each module has different layout options. You can write your own style sheet in your template. Every module has the ability to add pagination or search options. Table Maker is a fork of Table Maker for CSV by Mustafa Shariri with support for J4, extra security, and a new search option. All right, so Table Maker by Mustafa Shariri. So I wonder if that is, so this person has forked it and it's now available for Joomla 4 for putting tables in. And it's free. No demo, but that is new. All right. Serge, it's late there in Europe. Yes, it is. And it is still just 5 to 1. And actually reminds me, I have an appointment at 1 o'clock in 5 minutes. So we'll wrap this up soon. Speaking of things for uTheme Pro, let's just take a look at this here. Serge, have a great night. Uh, DocMan List is a uTheme Pro custom element that integrates with Joomla Tools' popular extension, DocMan. DocMan is #1 document manager for Joomla and is a full suite often used in organizations and intranet websites. So, you're welcome, Serge. Man, I'm just going to take a quick look at my phone here. Someone calling. It says calling me from New Brunswick, but I can call them back later. uTheme custom element page fixes this. With this element, it's super easy to create list downloads on the front end. It only works with uTheme Pro Builder. All right, and just for interest, out of curiosity, I have 10 extensions, but let's go to the demo and let's just see what the price is for this, because from an interesting thing, oh, very nice graphic there. Elements for uTheme, uTheme add-ons. JDocMan list, what is the price? 25 euros. So, hello. Okay, I'm hello. See you later, Valerie. I already said hello to you. I saw your name. You've been very quiet today in watching, but that's good. That's fine. Joomla Pro is, it's a Swedish company. Okay. And, but again, there's a business model for you. If you can program and develop things for a really popular page builder or framework like uTheme, then you're all good. You've got some income coming. Yeah. So, and they have uTheme add-ons. Let's see, uTheme user tools. Let's see, what have they got here? UIKit overrides for user pages. Oh, it may be Vinny's lurking. He loves UIKit, right? Password reset, login form, registration form, username. Login, inline mod. Okay, cool. All right, well, everybody, let's go to here. Yes. Oh, by the way, today's picture is Fizgard Lighthouse. It is the oldest lighthouse on the west coast of Canada. If you've ever Zoomed with me, you've probably seen that lighthouse, because that's the background that I use. I changed it quickly. It's part of the reason I was late. I thought, I can't go another week without changing the picture. This is about 10 minutes away from my house. And so it makes you give that feeling that we're like, that I probably live like out in the middle of nowhere. And I am on an island, but it's 6 hours to drive end to end. But this is down at the waterfront. But trust me, there's probably about 400,000 of us living around this lighthouse. So it is. It looks old. It looks. I mean, it is wild. We're out here at the edge of the Salish Sea. It's nice, but I've been there a number of times, and it shows up in movies from time to time. But anyways, everybody, thank you for your help on these things. Let's see. Julie, good evening from the UK. Julie, are you just tuning in? Because I'm just saying bye. But I do thank you for even just saying hi. Yeah, everybody, thank you for your help with the things today, the topic. That's great. We'll translate it into some helpful videos for people, more concise, and it's, as always, it's good to hang out and talk about things. So, so we reached that point where it's time for me to play the sad music. But before I do, as usual, I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.